I was hearing a lot of breakage in the internet.
Okay. All right, are we live? Yes, seems so. I'm gonna welcome Christopher from VXI to the discussion. And while we're waiting, Manju from National Pen and Wade from KPMG. I just want to say welcome to Christopher from VXI.
Thank you very much, Vivian. And
yes, you want to get your camera going, Chris?
Okay, so I should be visible now. Yeah. Are you seeing me, Vivian?
Not yet. Maybe in a sec. Not seeing you yet. You're not live yet.
Interesting. All right, so let me turn it off again. So this is off. And now this is on again. Can you see me now?
No.
The only other option I'm seeing here is to share my screen.
Yeah, no, do that. You want to just refresh maybe?
All right, let me try that.
All right, so while we're waiting on Chris to go live, let me just kick this off and share with you that digital services has emerged as a key services subsegment, accounting for over 20% of total outsourcing revenue. The preeminence of digital services can be gauged by the fact that over 55% of outsourcing contracts now include a portion of digital services. Now, according to NASCOM, which is a major outsourcing event that tracks these spends, digital services revenues are expected to grow at over 22% compound rate and will approach 267 billion this year, and expected to drive further growth in the industry. As digital technologies and related services become mainstream, service providers are continuing to incline towards locations with the ability to support digital service ecosystem. However, people are an important component of this, and they are now increasingly considering locations based on its digital infrastructure, ecosystem, digital skills, with competitive costs playing a significant role. As Jamaica seeks to advance the global digital services value chain, there will be new and emerging jobs and skill sets and requirements as well to support this transition. And so brings us to the meat of this discussion. Today, we're going to be talking to Christopher at this moment. And just to kick this off, I'll ask Christopher of VXI to just share his journey in the global services sector and tell us a little about his role in at VXI in Jamaica.
Thanks very much, Vivian. I'm hoping you and everyone else is able to see me now.
Yes, live and direct.
Okay, good. All right, so my journey started in 2002 when I'm an avid reader of the Sunday Gleaner. So you'll find that every Sunday I have to purchase a Sunday Gleaner, even though it's online and I can read it on my phone or my mobile device, my tablet, etc. And I remember in 2002, I bought a Sunday Gleaner and I saw an advertisement from the Heart Trust NTA talking about this new upcoming industry that is for young people, and it's very exciting and it's poised for growth. So the very next day, I went to Crossroads, Ripon Road, to the Heart Academy and to ask them more questions about this new and upcoming industry. And that's when they introduced me to this whole concept of BPO. And they had a requirement back then to do a training, a 6 week training course through the Heart Trust. And at the end of the 6 week course, you were interviewed by the BPO company and they decided whether or not they would take you. But then the market wasn't as it is today. So it was a lot less competitors, hence it was a lot harder to get into the BPO space. So just to give you an example of how challenging it was in 2002, there were three groups of 30, which was a total of 90 people that signed up for this class. And of the 90, only 20 people got selected by the BPO at the time that was employing. So I was fortunate enough, yes, I was fortunate enough to be one of those 90 persons, started in the industry with absolutely no experience, no work experience, no BPO experience, got full training, and matriculated to the production space as an agent. And since then, I've progressed through 11 different promotions to my current position, where I'm actually the country manager for VXI Jamaica.
Wow, that's amazing career growth there, Chris.
Yes.
And so you must have encountered a number of challenges along the way. How has improving your skill sets along the way aided in this achievement?
Challenges. Wow, this industry has evolved so much. Most people believe that BPO really came about 5, 10 years ago, when it really didn't. It started even before I knew about it in 2002. Back then, it was mostly what we called cold calls. So, cold calls are calls where we are the ones that initiate the calls to the customers. The customers have had no desire, no interest of getting a call from the company, whatever the company is that we're representing. And our job was to try to convince them to take a certain product or service. During that early time when I just joined, there was a lot of backlash because customers started getting upset about the frequent calls, the annoying calls, and the US decided to do something about it by putting a lot of regulatory rules, including one that they call the do not call list, where once a customer says, don't call me anymore, we have to put them on a special list and our company cannot call them anymore or we can be sued. So that started getting a lot. And back then, as a young man, I was thinking, okay, this industry is slowly going down because if we cannot call people anymore to sell them anything, then there's no point.
Gonna vanish.
Um, exactly. But then, of course, the industry evolved and it evolved to a more customer centric business where we started doing the warm calls where we allowed customers to call in. So we started taking the business from companies where they needed someone to provide customer service to their customers. So a basic example would be whenever you have a problem with your digital cell phone and you call that 100 number to get a customer representative to complain, we started taking over those businesses. Um, and that's how the industry started adapting and it started booming and growing once again. And this is when it even started getting more popular than it was back then. Now, today, the industry has evolved so much beyond that. And it is so good when you are versatile and you're adaptable because you have to be able to adapt along with the industry. Now there are digital services, there are knowledge process outsourcing, there's information technology outsourcing, there's so much more to this BPO business. It's not just about taking phone calls. So there are For example, my company, in 2014, my company bought a information technology and research and development company called Symbio. And Symbio, all they do is develop software and create solutions for businesses so they can make their business a lot more efficient through digital services. So my company is now able to partner with any client, not just on the customer service piece, but also on creating training modules, on creating simulations, on creating all different type of software that will help to track reporting, to show algorithms, and to help to determine what are specific skill sets of individuals that needs improvement, and to also develop courses for management, courses for supervisors, and all of those things. And we need people for that side of the business as well. So it's not just about taking calls. It's also about helping with software development. It's also about problem solving. It's also about management. It's also about IT. It's also about call quality, listening to calls and just grading calls. So the industry has evolved significantly, and my experience over the 19 years has helped me to be able to transition into any one of those businesses as I see fit or as the company sees fit.
That's an amazing story that you've shared there, Chris. So over the period of, the last, we've been in the industry quite a number of years. Over that period, it has moved from, telesales to customer service, and now to where the company is engaging clients through various different channels, and especially now with, as we have seen with digital transformation, the industry is calling for a lot more different skills. So, what are some of the positions that VXI employs outside of customer service within your operations? Can you name a few of those for the audience so they can see the diversity of what the industry has to offer?
Well, at this point, the majority of the positions that my company here offers, because we still do only have a small footprint in Jamaica,
Right.
because right now my footprint is 1,000 employees at one location. We're about to open a second location in Portmore, which will also have a minimum 1,000 employees. So at this point, the majority of our operations are in the Philippines, where we have over 30,000 employees. And then we have another 7,000 employees across the US and 2,000 in Guatemala. So at this point, we are stabilizing our operations in Jamaica so we can also compete with the likes of the Philippines. Now, we know we will definitely not get to where they are in terms of headcount, because as a nation, they're much bigger than we are. However, they are the ones who are more privileged with the back office work, with the software technology work, etc., etc. Our job, or my job right now, is to make sure that we do so well on what we're doing and prove to the company that we're able to also take over these back office work and these software technology work, etc., etc.
Okay,
So
so as
keep
you interview candidates now to join your operation, how would
Mhm.
you say, how important is it that they have a full awareness of using, modern digital tools and, online applications, working in the cloud, and so on?
It does give a huge advantage, because it does help with the career progression piece a lot. It does help a lot, because what you find is that our first request is that everyone has an appreciation for the business from the grassroots. They have to have a full understanding of what it is about and what it is like, because the things that you learn as an agent are the same things that you carry through with you throughout your tenure and throughout your progression within the industry. One quick example: let's say you are a customer service representative, or what we would refer to as an agent. Your job would be to talk to a customer to make sure that that customer is satisfied at the end of the conversation. And in order to do that, you have to have good listening skills. You have to be patient. You have to. Hello,
Okay.
I'm
Manju.
late, but I'm on time.
Go
Hello,
ahead.
gentlemen.
Welcome. We are
Right.
welcoming Manju to the panel at the moment. Seems she had a bit of a
Yes.
Some
challenge
technical
at the
issues.
start, but it's good. Christopher has been
Right.
keeping the ball rolling.
Thank you.
Yes. Sure. So you have to have certain competencies and certain skills that will make that conversation with a customer bearable, comfortable, and good enough where you can get certain quality scores. It's the same thing that happens when you move up the line, when you become a manager, when you become a supervisor. You have to be able to display those same competencies when you're dealing with your agents or your subordinates. So so we try to make sure that our employees learn the basics, and from there, the skills that you have in terms of digital services, digital processing, we leverage those skills along with the competencies that you've shown to determine whether or not you're ready to move to the next level. And what
Okay.
level is that? Is it
Okay.
transitioning to IT, or is it transitioning to being a trainer? Is it transitioning to being a call quality manager, specialist, etc.?
Okay. Great. All right. We're gonna come back to that discussion a little later on there, Chris. So in the meantime, I'm gonna welcome Manju Dadlani, Operations Manager for National Pen, who
Thank
is
you.
a National Pen is a recent establishment here in Jamaica. I believe they're related to Vista Print, who
We are the sister
also.
company to Vistaprint.
Okay, excellent. So we're attracting more subsidiaries of the larger group here in Jamaica. Manju, can you quickly tell us, just quickly summarize your journey in the global services industry and tell us a little about your role at National Pen?
Sure,
Audience.
absolutely. My journey with the BPO industry started about 13 years ago. I moved to Montego Bay, like many people today, looking for work, trying to find something that would pay me a decent salary to live. And I started actually at a small company called NARS in Montego Bay. And shortly thereafter, I moved to Vistaprint. So I actually joined the Vistaprint team back in 2006. I was a supervisor there for a while. My role with National Pen started in 2018, July 2018, I joined this team. So because of my relationship with the management team at Vistaprint, once this became an option, once National Pen became an option, it was easy to just come back to family because I had known them for so long and worked with them and had maintained such a good relationship over the years. The leadership team is very, I would say, they're very family oriented. So it's like coming back home to your family. So it was an easy decision for me. I was with Unique Vacations for about 8 years, and it was an easy decision to make to come back into the Simpers fold, launching National Pen. Um, I started here as a supervisor. I worked with the management team to develop myself and my skills because I wanted to grow, and the opportunity was here for me to grow. As you mentioned before, the company has just been in Jamaica for 3 years. We started with just about 80 agents, but the progression in this industry was rapid, which I'm happy for. It allowed me to broaden my existing experience and learn some new things. The management team is very supportive, taught me a lot over the years. So within 2 years, I became a senior supervisor. That happened in August of 2020. And a year later, which is July of this year, I became an operations manager here. So I'm very happy for that. There are a lot of industries that you can work in, and there's not much growth. You know, you become stagnant after you've been doing this for a while. And it's good to be a part of an industry that is still continuing to see growth and will continue to see growth of over the next, upcoming years.
Definitely. I believe 10 years ago, we had about maybe 12,000 persons in this industry. Now we're close to 45,000 and growing. So I'm sure that you've created a number of positions for persons with experience to grow into, especially looking at you now as operations manager. That's a significant achievement over the years as well. Consider you just went to Montego Bay to find a way.
Just a job.
But tell us, how how is important is the customer experience, and how does digital skills help to grow National Pen's business to the global community of customers that you have?
I would say that it's critical.
Right.
Uh, the world is moving into becoming fully digital. You know, we'll always have a place for the old ways, but the truth and the fact of the matter is, our workforce is changing. They're young people. Our customers are changing. They're young people, and they want that rapid response. You know, they don't want to sit around waiting on hold for hours or minutes to get to talk to somebody to resolve their issue, to place an order. Everything is very sped up, and especially COVID has changed so much for us in the industry. You know, within the past 2 years, everybody is moving online, so it's critical to our industry that our staff maintain a certain level. You know, we need to maintain efficiency. We need to offer fantastic service. We need to be able to rapidly pivot and adjust to the market and what's happening out there. I would say it's critical.
Right, and especially now with the pandemic and less persons who are going into actual brick and mortar stores, have you seen an uptick in the demand for National Pen's products during this period or since then?
Absolutely. One of the greatest things that I'm most proud to talk about when it comes to National Pen is how we were able to pivot with the advent of COVID. Traditionally, we're a marketing company that sells, you know, pens, t-shirts, pretty much anything you can put an imprint on to market your business. And with COVID coming, we were able to quickly pivot to start selling masks, which you can put your imprint on or not. We were able to sell pens with sanitizers on it, things that I could only imagine. But they have become very relevant in this day and age, and we were able to adapt, and people want to, even though there's a pandemic, right? People want to still maintain some sort of balance when it comes to their budgets and their spend. So yes, there's a pandemic, your staff need masks, you know, you want to hand it out to your customers and things like that, but you don't want to break the bank doing so. So National Pen has a unique advantage because we're able to keep those costs down. We're able to meet our customers' needs and also be relevant and still be hiring even in a time when a lot of companies were not. You know, we experienced significant growth over COVID, and I'm very happy about that.
Okay, that's excellent. So I'm just gonna bounce back to Chris now, and at VXI, and just for Chris to share with us. Chris is going through a period of the year now when most companies are seeking to hire persons, and so in addition to the fact that VXI is moving into a new facility with a capacity of about 900 persons. How do you see VXI attracting the right talent during this time, especially with the competitiveness now for labor going on?
Great question. So there are several things that we have done over the last few months to pivot ourselves as one of the employers of choice, right? And it starts with engaging our workforce, because what we have found is that word of mouth is really one of the best advertisements you can get from a company. So if your employees are talking good stuff about your company and the practices of your management team, you'll always find that it's easy to attract talent. So we've focused heavily on this piece, and we've also focused heavily on fixing communication between all levels of employees within the company. And that has done significantly well for us. We've found instances where we've tried to fill classes of 30 people within a short period of time, 2 to 3 days, and we're getting up to 60 and 70 people in a day. So we strongly believe that we will be able to find the right talent, and we strongly believe that we have set ourselves up to be in a position to get the people that we need whenever we need them.
Okay, all right. That's excellent to know. So it's still a ripe environment for new job seekers who are seeking to enter into the global services sector. I'd like to now welcome Wade, who has joined us. Wade is Senior Manager for Transitions and Process Improvement at KPMG GES. A lot of persons may not know what GES is all about, but we're quite familiar with KPMG. So I'm going to ask Wade to just share a little bit about his journey at KPMG and the global services sector, and of course, explain GES to our audience.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. Hello to all the members on the panel. It's great that we're having this conversation about global services. Now, KPMG, as many people know from our strong brand presence in the market, we are essentially an auditing firm. And what the firm has done is we've entered into the business and the global services outsourcing space in 2016. So we have looked at this, and there was a need for KPMG to provide certain types of services to partner firms in the United States. So KPMG, an entity in Jamaica, formed our Jamaica Extended Services solution, and our primary customer is our KPMG member firm in the United States. So we only provide back office support to that member firm at the moment.
Okay, that's even more exciting news. Obviously, KPMG is quite a large organization. And so with Jess's workforce here, I believe you're about 200, 300 persons.
Well, you know what? We started somewhere around 200. In the last year, we've added an additional 200. And
Wow.
I think in the next 12 months, we'll be adding 100 additional team members into the Jess fold.
Okay.
That's
So
fantastic.
wait, would you like to just share with us a little some of those positions that are going to be coming up in the next round of employment at Jess?
We have a very large accounting team because we provide back office support to our member firm in the US for all of the functions. So right now we are recruiting for accounts payable, accounts receivable, general accounting, and something we call travel and entertainment, because we provide a wide range of accounting services to our member firm in the US. In addition to that, we do have a number of roles available for administrative services, and we also provide HR support for our member firms, and we are recruiting for a number of people on those teams as well.
Okay, great. So a lot of opportunities here for job seekers who are exiting
Absolutely.
universities at this time. How important is it that these employees are comfortable with the modern digital skills sets?
You know what? COVID has forced us to read our traditional view of how team members work. Maybe 85% of our team members currently work from home. We've deployed all of the technology, all of the processes, and all of the systems that are every single one of our team members working from home just as efficient and effective as be if they were working from the office. Means that out of that, all of our team members almost have to be digital natives. Have to be able to really quickly, and all of our team members have to basic skills that are necessary to navigate around technology, because we deploy technology here at KPMG.
Wow. So any new employee coming into the sector at this time is looking for a very enriching experience, whether you're going to KPMG, VXI, or National Pen for that matter. So I'm going to ask Chris now to just share with us, to just identify, some of the, as we wrap up, I think we have about 10 minutes left. So if you could just share with us some of the opportunities within the organization, and not just on the customer service level, even if there are positions within the executive level, that persons who are seeking to join the digital services sector might look forward to at this time.
Well, as you mentioned and I mentioned before, we will be practically doubling our headcount within a couple of months, right? So what this means is that we're going to need all levels of and all categories of employees. We, from time to time, struggle to find senior level employees because persons don't usually look to this industry as an industry of growth or an industry of stability. And these persons, most times you'll find, are persons who are on the outside looking in. They've never had that experience of being inside the industry and understanding that this is one of growth. This is one where people are promoted from within. This is one where people are given opportunities, even if they don't have experience. They are trained, they're taught, they're mentored. So we will have several positions available as operations managers, directors, HR supervisors, training recruiters, etc., as well as the, the grassroots positions. We are working closely with the Hard Trust to try to get some training courses out there to get management level people ready. But that has been one of the struggles that we've been facing as a company, to just get high level managers ready.
Okay. And I'm sure they're working with that. I know for a fact that Jumper is working with Heart, especially in the last recent times, to restructure and add new components to the courses that are going to be offered. So work in progress. Manju, I'm just going to ask you now to share with us, what would you say to persons who are, a bit hesitant to joining an industry like yours?
That's fantastic, and I was actually going to piggyback on something Christopher said to segue into that. One of the things you mentioned, Christopher, was that people talk about our industry, word of mouth. That's how a lot of our folks come to us and they say, "Oh, we've heard about these great things about your company." In that same spirit, the BPO industry has stood the test of time with COVID. We are the second biggest foreign exchange earner in the country that I'm aware of. So I would say, if you're looking for consistency, we made it through a pandemic. We're still growing through a pandemic. I don't know a safer place. I can't tell you a safer place that has experienced the type of growth and sustainability that we've had. So I would encourage anybody out there, no matter what you did in school, I would encourage you to look at the BPO industry as a viable option. Similar to the gentleman, we have several positions available across the field. We have a position open now for HR generalist. We have talent acquisition coordinator. We have collections agents, sales agents. We're looking for trilingual persons. So if you are traditionally looking for a job because you speak French or you speak Spanish and those jobs are not available, you should be looking at the BPO industry. There is room here and space here for you outside of hospitality. We would love to have you on board. As Chris mentioned, and I'm sure Wade, a lot of training is taking place for us to get folks up to speed. Come with the talent and we'll take care of you.
Excellent. Wade, similarly, many persons out of university are saying, boy, we're not sure if we want to join this industry. What would you say to graduates at this time to joining the outsourcing industry to service Fortune 500 companies overseas in operations like yours?
I think to support my colleagues in this conversation, we first have to probably help them with thinking of the BPO sector. The first thing you have to appreciate is that within the BPO sector, we have job roles. So we have HR, we have admin, we have IT, we have accountants, we have legal support people. So whatever the original thinking that you had, it can be found in the BPO sector. What we've done is we've overlaid a very thick layer of customer service support, and we've underpinned that without. But the role traditionally have been thinking about exists right across the BPO sector. All we've done is customer service to help to bolster our ability to service clients and technology to ensure that we're always on all to deliver for those clients wherever in the world they are. And I think that is probably the most way I'd have to anybody thinking about it.
Excellent. So the world is our marketplace when it comes to career opportunities within the BPO sector.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Abs- Absolutely. So whoever is listening, please feel free to throw any questions you have into the question chat room at this time. And so whilst I'm just gonna make one final pass through on our panel here for some closing words, and while we take any questions that may pop up in the interim. So Chris, if you wanna kick it off and just share with us, how has digital and technology aided you in your work from home process? I believe the sector had a significant portion, and as Wade said, most of his workforce is at home. How is that? Has that helped the new employees to settle into their jobs during this pandemic period?
It it wasn't a smooth transition at first. I'll be the first one to tell you that, because last year when this pandemic hit, no one was ready for it. No one had planned for it. So, from an infrastructure perspective, we were not fully ready as a country. And I have to give a huge kudos to our telecommunications providers, Flow and Digicel, because they've done extensive and significant work over the last year and a half to get us a lot more stability with our internet connections. I would also say the same thing to our GPS provider. They have also done a lot of work to make sure that our current is a lot more stable than it was before, because we used to experience a lot of outages and a lot of droppages, and it really did hurt us as a country and as a business. But we've managed through that, because again, this industry is so resilient. We're fighters. We've always been against the odds, and we've always been able to overcome. I can also share with you that before this pandemic started, my largest clients were telecommunications and home entertainment. And today, my largest clients are e-commerce businesses, because e-commerce has taken a huge boost since this pandemic started. So there are a lot of opportunities that comes with that, that surrounds the whole digital services platform. And we are able to take advantage of it because we are technologically inclined, and we were forever, even before this pandemic, technologically inclined and highly dependent on technology to do our business.
Wow. So, and I'm sure you haven't contracted so and or lost those telecom players. So you're actually doubling by getting on new clients in different sectors.
Exactly. Yep.
And okay, so Wade, as we're about to wrap. I'm not seeing any questions yet, but I'm gonna ask you, what has been your key factor in attracting persons to your operation?
I think operationally there are a couple of things that are important to how we attract team members. The first thing is that we have a strong brand at KPMG, and we're extending that into the GES operation. The next thing I would say is we are focused on developing the people, we're focused on developing talent, and most importantly, we're focused on developing a team that supports our customers in a particular them to benefit from the rich experience that we're delivering to them. So in addition to we're expecting a very strong support to our clients, we also provide an equally strong support to all our team members that will help them to understand that they're a huge part of the success and they will continue to benefit all of the success that the business has.
Excellent. And KPMG being an international organization, I'm sure brings a lot of opportunities for persons entering within your operation to learn and develop more skill sets. Right?
Absolutely.
Manjo, you spoke earlier about a family environment. And so that seems to be one where your employees are quite comfortable coming to work every day. How is that transferred into your retention rates?
Well, I think that people stay where they feel heard. I think people stay where they feel supported. And we're able to accomplish that even though quite a bit of our workforce has had to move off site as well. I agree with Wade on that we have to move quite a few people off site. One of the things that National Pen has focused on is improving communication. So a lot of the times when you have a team of people in front of you, whether they're leaders or agents, you can get caught up, right? People will see you working, they think you're busy, they don't have an opportunity to connect with you, to share their feedback on what they think is working or not working. And we've significantly increased that with the use of technology, of course, with Teams and Zoom. We have all of these meetings now. But it has helped us to reinforce that relationship that we had between the management team and the leaders and their agents, so that people feel supported, even though they're so far away. And I feel that when you have a team of people who know that they can rely on their leadership team, and the leadership team has a clear line of communication with the agents to let them know about any changes in a timely manner, that builds trust. And you can maintain a solid workforce once you have clear communication and trust.
Okay.
That's been very impactful to us.
Some key points there. I'm going to field 2 questions from the chat room right now. Wade, if you want to take this one. The first question is, why is it that a degree holder most BPOs keep landing us in entry level or second level positions? And that's one. And I have a person, all the way in Clarendon, asking Chris if it's possible to get employment at VXI. All right, go ahead, Wade.
Thanks to the participant for that question. Let me answer. At KPMG GES, what we have is of different layers for the team member, and our qualification criteria for each of those layers have been established. So you may find yourself and with no experience, and therefore you may be invited to apply for a job at the officer level. You may find yourself with a degree and 1 year of experience, and that takes you, into the senior officer bracket. So we reward team members, or we award roles based on a combination of factors. The qualification, generally with a foundation degree, the number of years of experience you have working, and the various teams that you would have fallen into. During our recruitment and selection process, somebody may have applied for a role as an officer in our HR or risk team. But after the interview, we realized that based on the qualifications, experience, and most importantly, how they conduct themselves in a particular interview, we would recommend that they be moved, they be the senior officer level in another team. So really and truly, to answer the question is, it depends on the individual. the level of experience they have and combine that with their base degree. That question.
All right, good, very good response there. So we're getting a lot of questions about the locations of BPOs across the country. So two persons are asking, when is KPMG coming to Mandeville or Montego Bay? In addition to that, I'm sure Wade is expanding rapidly in Kingston, so I don't know, at some point he might be spreading his wings in Montego Bay. Wade, what's your feedback on that?
I would answer that question by saying to the participant, and thanks again for the question. KPMG, it was just 2 weeks ago that I sat in on a couple of interviews and we made 2 offers to 2 people in Montego Bay. One, we do have a KPMG or an arm of our auditing firm in Montego Bay, but more importantly, because we are now dispersed and because we are working from home, we have an opportunity for anybody in any part of the country. That's the first thing. And in the that team member had or requested to work from the office, maybe for various reasons. If it is that that team member can support or to work from the particular situations for particular times, we have no problems making an offer. I would say to that person is apply, and based on your circumstances, we'll be happy to consider you.
All right, excellent. So digital skills will enable you to work from anywhere. So don't consider the fact that you are in Manchester or Montego Bay or St. Thomas,
Or
wherever you
Clarendon,
are,
right?
you can get employment within the sector at this time. So we're looking forward to applications coming into the sector. It's hiring season now, and this panel seems to be pretty exciting. So we've gone over the time. I'm just going to do a quick wrap here and remind persons that there's going to be a questionnaire at the end of the session. The first 2 persons to complete the survey will receive digital gift cards courtesy of Gift Me. And I now want to thank the panel for their input so far, sharing insights around the sector, their participation and development of their careers in the sector to demonstrate that the global services sector is active and a great place to look for opportunities as we head on out into the workforce. All right, thanks a lot, lady and gentlemen, Manju, Wade, and Christopher for your participation.
Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
so much for having us.
All right, all the best.